And this episode is for all of those people that feel that they're doing everything right, but instead of feeling lit up, they're maybe feeling exhausted, unfulfilled, maybe even thinking, is this it? Is there a way to simplify? And if you can resonate to any of these kinds of things, this episode is for you. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the channel. My name is Anita. I'm a soul strategist and success coach. I love helping people like you live their most aligned, authentic, and abundant lives, something that I call soulful success. So if you're interested in intentionally creating a life that looks and feels good on the inside and out, defining success on your own terms, you are in the right place. All right, so let's dive into this episode. Maybe you're feeling exhausted, burnt out, unfulfilled, maybe even thinking, is this it? Maybe you're just thinking, what am I doing this for? Like, I just can't keep going in this pace. I want to hold space for you. I totally want to hold space for you because I feel like we have all been there at some point in time. This is that messy middle time of your life, right? Perhaps you're juggling a busy family life. I have been there. I've acted as a social coordinator, the chauffeur, the chef, the CEO of the house, not to mention perhaps you have a busy career or a business or a side hustle that you're trying to grow. Perhaps there's also a partner in the mix that's this co-captain of logistical planning, and you feel like you're ships in the night, kind of just doing the same thing day in and day out. And let's not forget you're in this place too. Somewhere in all of this, your needs, hopes, and desires also make the list. Geez, it's no wonder we're in survival mode, right? It's no wonder that with all of this noise, you may forget who you are right now and what you might need or want in this season of your life. And I just want to assure you that if you're feeling any of these things, you are not alone. Many of the women I coach can relate to this. We work through these kinds of things together, finding themselves again. And I too have been there, right? So today I'm going to share 5 sneaky ways you may have slipped into survival mode without even realizing it so that you can start shifting yourself out and you can feel like yourself again. And by the way, if this topic hits home, you have to join me at the Ignite Your Light Summit. The next one is happening September 13th and 14th. It's a 2-day virtual online event all about living fully now. It's going to give you the tools that you need to reset, realign, and reclaim the life that you're meant for. 6 powerhouse speakers are joining me. We're going to have authentic, soulful conversations, and you're going to have a supportive community, forever access to these replays, a workbook, a coaching session from me a couple of days afterwards. So it's just jam-packed with value, all for $25. Okay, so let's get into the 5 sneaky ways that you might be heading into survival mode or in the thick of survival mode. First of all, my list is, my friends, chasing the wrong things. I don't have to tell you that this phase of life is very busy. It almost feels like we're always running against the clock, right? We don't have enough time. We're always trying to cram more in. And let's just be honest, let's call a spade a spade. We have finite hours in the day. And so there's only so much that we can accomplish. We got to be the most effective and impactful with the time that we have. And so in order to get out of survival mode and to press the big ol' reset button, we need to realign with what truly matters. We need to make the time and space for what truly matters. So that starts with doing a bit of a time audit, right? How are you choosing to spend your time? What gets to take up space and energy and attention in your life? Because survival isn't just about getting by, but it's about thriving, feeling like you again, right? It's making space for that whole body yes. So sometimes I find that when people are chasing the wrong things, they could be holding on to outdated goals, things that align with a previous versions of themselves. Maybe there are things that once lit you up, but just aren't feeling aligned, or maybe they're not yours to begin with at all. So not only are we doing a time audit, we're also doing a what lights me up audit, right? Sometimes we think about these are things that we should do. Anything that's in the should category, likely not so great for you. Because here's the truth, soulful success starts when you reconnect to your why, your values, your spark. And in my 3-month group coaching program that starts up in September, Soulful Success Academy, I literally take 2 weeks out of the first 3-month course to spend on this because it is so foundational to get very crystal clear. And literally everything that we do after that is in service of this vision. So if you find that you're lacking a spark in life, a quick action tip for you right now is to sit down and pick your top 3 values. Really think about what lights you up, what is really important to you. Generally speaking, values don't change much throughout life. How they might be personified or embodied or show up in your life might be different as you go through life. But generally speaking, if you honor honesty, if you value family, if you value work or freedom, like those are the values that you will likely have for the rest of your life. The way they show up might change, but if you identify what those three values are that are really super critical and important to you, and then look at that time audit that you're doing. How are you spending your time? How are you feeling? What is the joy and the spark factor? You can then see, am I spending my time reflecting what matters most to me? Okay. So next up on the list is doing all of the things. We just talked about the finite period of time, but you know what doing all the things gets you? And it's not a completed to-do list, because you and I both know that the moment you cross something off, three or more things pop up, right? You don't ever finish that to-do list. So no, doing all the things gets you one thing and one thing only, and that is burnt out. And trust me, I have been there, my friend. It is not a fun place. That is not a place of thriving. It's definitely a place of survival, and rock bottom survival at that. So we do not want to go there, right? It's literally like the life force is drained right out of you. So if you are doing the things that are not the right things, that are not aligned to your values, not aligned to your spark, your wants, your needs, and then you're doing all the things, ugh, not good. So a couple of things that I work on with my coaching clients here is really reframing productivity and rest. For many of us, there's this invisible badge of honor that we wear for being busy, right? We say, hey, how's it going? Good. How you been? Busy, right? All of us want to be busy. So for many of us, busyness becomes an identity. It's a way to prove our worth. But I want to remind you that you are simply worthy because you are you, and you deserve to rest, and you deserve to ask for help, and you deserve to say no, or at least not right now. So you do not need to carry it all alone. So don't do all the things. In fact, don't do all the things, because that definitely means you're chasing the wrong things. So do the right things and don't do it all. If you find that you are one of those people that just loves to be busy and finds rest really uncomfortable, I want you to look at that to-do list and circle the one thing that actually moves the needle for you today. And I want you to give yourself permission to do that one thing and then to release or delegate the rest. And it's going to feel uncomfortable AF. All right? So moving on to the next sneaky way that survival mode shows up is chasing balance. Oh, balance. It just seems like this fairy tale word, right? All of us are this proverbial hunt or chase for balance. How many have you thought that if you can just juggle all these plates, maybe then I'll finally feel balanced, or I just need to do this, or I just need to do that, right? I want to tell you right now that balance isn't something that you chase. Balance is actually something that you create. And you create it from a place of intention, and you create it from a place of clarity. So once again, that brings me down to what truly matters to you. Because if something matters to you, then it's a priority. And if it's a priority, then we schedule it. We make a plan for it. We know that this is it. And we know that everything else can just drop off, right? So if we're delegating, if we're releasing, if we're saying no, we're creating space for the things that truly matter. And when we're creating space for the things that truly matter, those are the things that are automatically going to get done. And your energy stops feeling so scattered on things that don't matter. And then you can instead focus on building systems and habits and routines for what does matter. And that's when balance becomes possible. And here's the kicker. Balance is also not about doing everything equally, right? We don't spend equal hours at work and at home and cleaning our house and working our business. Like, there's not enough time for that. We need to understand that we need to be flexible and agile, and that what is our priority at one point in time can shift. And there's another time for another priority. It's making space for the different priorities when it is appropriate to do so. So balance feels less like a tightrope and more like flow. So if you find that you're one of those people that is constantly in search of this ever elusive balance, I encourage you today to take a look at one area of your life where you just want more flow. Where do you want more flow in your life? And could you maybe create a boundary, a habit, or a system that could help support that area? Moving on to the next thing on my list is, oh, this one kills me every time, settling for fine. I once had this client, God bless her. Her marriage was fine. Her job was fine. Her health was fine. So I was like, so why are we here in coaching? What do you want to get out of me if your whole life is fine? But you could hear that things were not fine in her voice. So I'm going to call a spade and say what she was unable to say to me. Fine was code word for unfulfilled. And let's be real. Fine is survival mode's favorite word. But you might find if you're listening to this, if you're all about soulful success, living your most authentic, aligned, abundant life, you are not here for fun. You are here for fulfilled. So I want you to think about, where are you settling right now? Maybe it's in your career, maybe it's in your health, your relationships, or even how you take care of yourself. Are your meals just scraps off your kids' plates? When was the last time you savored a dinner that you didn't have to rush through? When was the last time you felt lit up about work or truly excited to spend time with somebody versus just thinking, I got to go to this thing, right? So if you find yourself using the code word fine, I want you to journal about, where are you tolerating fine and what would thriving look like instead? And last but not least on my list is ignoring your own needs. And this is kind of a combination of all that stuff, right? If you're doing the wrong things, if you're chasing balance, it doesn't exist. If you are doing all the things and settling, then chances are you are ignoring your needs. The cost of long-term survival mode, or putting your needs last, is resentment, is exhaustion, right? Burnout, and eventually losing touch with yourself. And you're modeling for people that it's okay, that your needs come last, and that's okay. Your dreams come last, your wants come last. You don't matter. That's so not true. And we've heard over and over again these cliches that, self-care is not selfish, it's essential. You cannot pour from an empty cup but I want you to think of it this way. I know, want to give back to the people that you love so much. And if you have a family, don't you want to model for them the importance of taking care of themselves? Like, would you want them to put themselves last on their list? Probably not. So why is it okay for you, right? So when you show up in your highest, most energetic, most authentic self, when you're living that version of soulful success, survival has no space for it there, right? You are emanating from your highest resonance and frequency. And when you're in that energetic state, think of how energized you are. Think of how much you have to give to other people, how much your energy impacts other people. People can pick up if you're resentful. People can pick up if you're snappy. People can pick up if you're frustrated or impatient. It doesn't create a great vibe around you. You don't want to be around those people. You'd rather be around somebody who's chill, who's happy and smiley, and who makes everything fun. So not only are you changing the way you show up for yourself, and you're showing other people what's possible when they show up for themselves, and that they too should be doing that and giving them permission to hold space, but you're just changing the vibe of everything around you. So if you find that you could give yourself a little bit more TLC, carve out 10 minutes. I'm sure you have 10 minutes in your day that you can spare for you, and do something that nourishes your body, your mind, or your spirit, or all of the above. You don't need to justify what it is. It doesn't need to have an end goal or purpose. It should not actually have an end goal or purpose. It shouldn't be because I needed to do this anyway. This is just for you. So maybe it's reading a chapter of a book. Maybe it's a movement break. Maybe it's stepping outside and breathing. Maybe it's calling a friend that you haven't talked to in forever, and you just want to just have a nice hearty catch up. Whatever it is, make sure is that you make time for that for 10 minutes today. If you feel that you need to, better yet, to really make sure that you stay in a survival mode, make sure that you carve out regular time for yourself every single day. Make it a habit or routine, something that you look forward to, because it's just your time for you. So there you have it, my friends, the 5 sneaky ways you may have slipped into survival mode. If any of these made you think, oh my gosh, this is me, this is resonating on any level, it's because deep down you're ready. You know that you want more for yourself. You're ready to take care of yourself and your life. You're ready to love your people well. And this just helps you amplify that and finally create that life that you've been craving. And that's exactly what the Ignite Your Light Summit Live Fully is designed for. So over 2 days, you'll learn from incredible experts. We're going to cover how to beat burnout and bring your spark back, how to parent with presence, how to rebuild energy and balance from the inside out. We're going to talk about how to deepen our relationships and even use discomfort as a superpower. So let me remind you that this is not about adding more to your plate. The summit is about helping you reset, realign, and reclaim that life that you've been craving. Tickets are $25. They include lifetime replays, a workbook, a bonus integration session with me, and the link isn't below, and I'd love to see you there. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 sneaky survival mode traps are you in right now? These are sneaky, so they're going to crop up from time to time. And like weeds, you got to pull them out before they fully become an infestations, because you want to stay in the high vibe thrival mode versus the low vibe survival mode. So drop in the comments where you are right now. Share your insight. Sharing your insight not only helps you name it and shift it, but it also tells other people that they're not alone. And it also gives me some insight into content that I could create to support you in your journey. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.